But you have to take responsibility as much as possible, and you can't be 100% certain of what you're really getting into till you get into it, because you see there are actors and players in the interview. You're one of them, and you go in and you put on your best face. You don't show everything about yourself, and neither do the interviewers. And one of the ways to cut through that garbage is to ask the right questions. And so if you're in a toxic environment now and or you're, or maybe you're just burnt out doing what you're doing in your normal career, been there, understand it. But what I had to learn very quickly in this game is I had to interview properly and take responsibility for questions that I needed to ask. One of the big questions for me, and one of the things I observe, and these are two big hints for you as an interviewee, is when I go into a place, I'm looking at a trash heap of files on a desk in one interview. And it was that in the room I was interviewing? No, but as I walked through, I saw a trash heap of files. I mean, this was like a mess, okay? Papers falling out. Number one, these are client files, okay? Okay, that's number one. Never should be in that shape and look like that. Maybe we can line them up better and maybe be alphabetized to find things easier, by client last name. But no, these were thrown in a mishmash right on the desk. Attorneys shouldn't put up with that, and the paralegals there should pitch in and try to help to get that cleaned up. All right, that's a whole other story about working together. All right, so you go by and you see this heap of files. That's a red flag, because that means somebody didn't have enough time or didn't know what they were doing to get those put away. What are those files? Why are they sitting out there like that? So that shows disorganization within that law firm. Now, we cut to the chase. We go in an interview with the attorney. We start asking this is one of my questions, is how do you monitor your deadlines other than a calendar? And I'm going to tell you, most of them don't have any idea. It's like, oh, we just calendar it. I said, okay. And so that means that calendar can become a trash heap. That calendar can be overwhelming. And there are other ways to manage besides the calendar, okay? Using a calendar like this is due on this date and all that. That's a big deal in the legal field. That's, a part of who we are, what we do all day long. But there are other systems in place that help you organize and where things do not fall through the cracks. And I find the calendar is just one tool. And so I like to find out, are you using any other tools to do that? And the attorney may not know. That tells you something right there, okay? That's not a huge red flag, but I have to find somebody who knows how everything's being managed. Because if no one knows, that's a red flag. And that means I'm coming into a place where they don't know what they're doing. And I've been there, honey. Oh, I've been there. And nobody knew what the deadlines were, and the attorneys are freaking out inside, but they don't know what to do about it. This is their law license on the line. If they miss deadlines, they neglect cases, the client can file a complaint with the state bar over that. So that's why I ask that question about organization, and I like to see if they're uncomfortable or they know. Maybe they know. And then I know I'm going into a place where I'm going to be working with another attorney as a team member who has their act together. But if they don't have their act together, that means I'm the only one that's going to have it together. That's not good. And if all of what I just said is boggling your mind, that's okay. You're learning something. You're learning that we are deadline driven in the law firm or nonprofit or whatever. Things are due at a certain time, and we have to do that, and we have to multitask in our positions that we're in. And so we have to be ultra organized on the job in order to get that done. And we have to work with people who are organized in doing what they're doing as well, and it all works together. But when that starts to be dysfunctional in the office, it can collapse. And so you don't want that to affect you as a beginner. You want to go into a fine-tuned machine. Not everything, not everything is dysfunctional and chaotic. That's not good for you as a beginner. So be fussy that way. Be very particular as to who and what, who you're going to work for and what you're getting into. Okay? That's it for today. Stay tuned for the upcoming workshop on landing your first paralegal position without experience. Yes, it's possible. More than possible. Have a great day. Talk to you in the next video.